I think we're live. All right, I'm Nick.
I think we're live.
I need to mute my computer because there's a slight delay.
All right.
So the goal of this is to use this new streaming software, see if it works. Dan just commented, Green Machine Outdoors, he actually told me about this program. They use it to stream all their catfish tournaments and stuff like that. So we're using the cell phone. I have my laptop down here below. That way I can monitor comments and reply a little easier. I figured we just test it out. You guys can tell me if the audio is good. Ideally, if we can get this to work, we'll try to go live during our fishing trips, which probably could be a cool experience. Okay. So I really don't have anything to talk about. Obviously, there's a lot going on with the business. The garage is a disaster. Obviously, most of the production happens in here. We just purchased a shed. The weather was terrible all week, so that kind of put us behind schedule for getting the shed here. Had to have some trees dropped and just would not quit raining. Once that happens, we can finally get back a bunch of this space, get the kids' bikes out of here and all kinds of stuff, and have more room for production. So with that being said, if you guys have questions, start asking. I'll monitor the chat. If I miss some stuff, I apologize. Just type it again. I'm going to put a link to Dan's YouTube channel below if I can figure out how to work this. Here it is. Without him, we would not be doing this right now. I used to use a different program in the past. Here's the link in the description. In the chat. I used to use a different program in the past. It worked well, but it was super complicated and complex, and you couldn't do it from your cell phone. Ideally, with this program, we will be able to do it with the cell phone we're recording on now, with no external speakers, no anything else. Put it on the kayak and just take you guys fishing in the mornings for an hour or two here or there. If you guys like the idea, let me know. And then we'll start reading some of these questions. Well, look, Dan hit the icebreaker up since none of you guys else asked questions. Appreciate you guys all joining. Dan's question is, if you had to pick just one of your own products to choose as your favorite, what would it be? It would definitely be the handle, right? And the reason is the handle with the track mount in it. That's how the whole product side of the business started, right? I sat around for several years wanting a solution for that. And one day I called a 3D printer guy and was like, hey, look, I got some cash. I want to buy a printer. I have no idea what I'm doing. He opened me up to a whole new world. And then it allowed us to just make all kinds of stuff. So the handle will always be the favorite. Just because it started it all. It was the go-to. It was the original idea, and somehow it worked, came to life, and now we ship them all across the world. It's crazy. Any thoughts on making a rudder lock? And bear with me, my cough still exists. I can't get rid of it. In my experience, if you adjust the bolt kit that we make properly, it will pretty much lock the rudder down as tight as I would say is safe. You don't want it to be too tight, because if you needed to turn in a hurry, you need to find a way to unlock that mechanism. If anything, I like the ability to turn fairly quickly. And if the rudder is locked completely, then you're just going to be delayed in turning. I personally like the bolt and being able to adjust the tension to a set spot. It serves us really well offshore. We could look into making a rudder lock so it never ever moves. I hadn't really looked into it. I know you messaged me a while back about it, Danny. I just hadn't looked into a way to really lock it and not have any issues. Has Old Town ever reached out to you about one of your designs? No, I wouldn't say Old Town really cares. They do what they want. pretty sure the only time they reached out to me is when I was mean about the autopilot 136. I was honest. I wasn't being mean, right? I just pointed out some things that could be better. And then Old Town reached out and, well, they weren't happy. Go figure, right? What other questions we got? About kayak fishing, fish specific, kayaks, whatever you guys got. I figured we'd spend 30 minutes to an hour just answering questions and go from there. Got a lot of things in the plans. Jamie has a charter in the morning. He'll be inshore with the gentleman. Should be fun. Had a lot of rain, though, so I expect the water to be dirty and them to struggle a bit for the trip. Oh, use the Lynx risers today. Man, I like the Lynx risers, man. If you guys haven't seen that video and you have a Lynx, the seat riser kit really makes things easier for me. I'm just an average dude, 6 foot, about 220. But leaning forward, standing up, the seat riser kit, pretty much for every kayak is, you can adjust it to where you want it. On the Old Town as the Lynx, we stuck with a set number. I felt like it was the best all-around answer. Man, that makes life so much easier for me. Are you staying exclusively with the Hobie offshore and the Old Town inshore? Joey, I would tell you that for me, like me, not for the clients, I'm probably going to use the Lynx for everything. Unless it's bad weather, windy, and I need to run a charter, then I will be in the Predator, the big water PDL, because it just is all around like nasty weather, heavy current. The PDL is a far better system in my mind. And if I really, really need to go out and catch quality fish, if I was going to fish a tournament or anything like that, I would take the Predator, the big water PDL, because I know no matter what the conditions are, it's going to do good. But if I'm just going fishing for me and Monday through Friday, as I don't really care what the results are, I'm just in it to go enjoy myself, I'm taking a Lynx. It weighs 60 pounds. I can pick it up over my head, move it wherever. Got some new wheels for it, make a video about that. But I'm digging the Lynx for my personal use. Live chat working awesome. Thanks, Pablo. I appreciate you guys letting me know how the audio and the video is. All we have is one little light here, then the actual YouTube light over there. We're just using the cell phone, so no audio device. Let's see, what else is here? Anything new coming down the pipe for the Old Town MK106? I don't really have anything. I don't really have anything in mind for it right now. I haven't really spent much time in the 106 MK, so we try to only make products that we see as improvements. Not just gonna like make a product to sell it to you. It has to be a solid solution, not just hey, it's a piece of plastic. Let's take your cash. That's not the goal. It's supposed to be a solid idea. Is there a way to build something for the Boondocks landing gear using the original rod holder areas on the Old Town? Okay, so I'm just going to come out and say it. I haven't really said it. I always email people back and tell them I think that the Boondock system is an absolutely 100% terrible idea, okay? Gravity, trying to hold a piece of plastic from the top while all the weight is pulling down. If you go over bumps wrong and the wheel shifts, especially on a hot day, the plastic moves, or even a cold day, the plastic will just snap. I've seen far too many photos of people, excuse me, the cough's going to disappear eventually. I've seen far too many people take the Boondock system, go push it somewhere, and break it. I don't want to make anything a product or give anyone any kind of information saying it's going to work well, then them break their kayak, because Old Town is not going to warranty it. I know you can put backing plates on it and all these things. In my mind, there's too many carts that you can just slide underneath the front of it that work extremely well, and then just take the 30-yard walk back to your truck and put the wheels away. So I don't really have much to say on how you would mount the Boondocks. It's not for me. I don't want to tell anybody anything and then break it, okay? What's the best way to get into being a kayak fishing guide? How much water experience would you recommend? Thanks. All right, here it is. if you can't catch fish, if you, man, think about it, like it's really easy to catch fish yourself, but you need to be able to get someone who's never caught a fish before how to get it, right? So they say you're not truly an expert at something unless you can express it simply. If you can't go out and catch fish in every single condition, then you're going to have a hard time making money doing it. You know, the only reason that it works for us in my mind is I had a lot of experience. I didn't have a day job. I was out of the Air Force. I just fished, and I was able to figure out where the fish were going to be in every tide, every wind. We could hide from the wind. We could fish places. And if you can't do that yourself, it's very, very challenging to take people and teach them how to do it. Remember, say you got a 4-hour period. We have people come in all the time who have no experience, like father, son, flying the fish, and they don't know how to cast. So you need to be able to take them from 0 to 100 in an hour, you know, so they can catch fish for the next 3 hours. It's challenging. It's fun. It's fun. Don't get it wrong. I just wouldn't get in over your head and not trying to discourage anybody unless you can find the least coordinated person you know, take them fishing, and have them have a good day on the water. And if you could do that 7 days a week, you're good to go. You can live record all of my fishing bloopers if you like. Now, there's not enough. We don't have enough storage for that, Dustin. I get to hear all your stories of craziness, breaking off redfish, using tactical angler clips. You do it, all kinds of good stuff. What is the minimum usable depth for the Old Town PDL? Howard, I'm going to say knee deep. I got a tape measure around here somewhere, right? So let's see. Tape measure, knee deep, probably about 21 inches, okay? So I would say 2 feet. If there's grass on the bottom, less. If you lean, you can get a little more, you know, a little angle, get a little more depth out of it. I've definitely done that. If the bottom's soft, the prop will eat right through it. But you're looking at about 2 feet, okay? 2 feet, no grass. Ever rolled a predator? Trying to wrap my head around kayaking out to the rigs. Spearfishing, I'll be doing some reentry testing on it soon, but I literally just got the predator. I have personally, we're going to knock on all kinds of wood, I haven't rolled a kayak. Now, every year I tell myself I'm doomed. I've yet to do it. I'm due. I'm way overdue, okay? One of these days I'm going to get absolutely destroyed in the surf, and I'll just accept it. The Predator is super stable. I know some guys who they've got in it the first time, they fell out because they're not used to the stability. But depending on how big of a person you are, getting back into the kayak is not that challenging. You just need some practice. A rope would help, helps with reentry and so on. But I have I've never flipped it. I know some people who have, though. All right, Ramsey asked, what's your thoughts on making a bin for under the seat storage, or maybe rails to slide and hold, maybe a Rubbermaid container? Okay, so we have had a lot of requests over the last 2 years for a system to go underneath the seat, right, with storage and so on. The problem is, remember, on a Old Town or any pedal system that has a bicycle, the seat is what moves. So if you're super tall, the box would have to be shorter, right? So you have to be able to make a product that was adjustable in size, or it would only work for, if you made it for a 6-foot person, you know, that sits 5 holes back, then you would only have so much storage. Now, if you're a short person, you'd be able to slide the seat all the way forward. You'd have a larger storage area, but you wouldn't be able to slide the seat back without hitting the back of the kayak. So I kind of have mixed feelings about it. We just haven't, there's no solid answer, right, man? It's difficult, man. It's hard to get a perfect solution for that for everybody. Dan, I thank you for putting the super chat in there of $5. I'm not sure how to even do that, but I appreciate it, buddy. I appreciate you helping me out with this live stream. Appreciate it. Appreciate Dion. Allen, how about some Cowboys? When my fish finder reads 1.1 feet, I'm probably hitting bottom with the PDL, and that is with the fish finder being mounted on the very bottom of the kayak, right? So I'd say 2 feet. 2 feet or so, you're out of room. Those reusable grocery bags fit perfect under the seat hatch. That's a pretty good idea too. Hey, thanks for watching. You guys got questions, just put them down there. I'll keep rambling. I can't get rid of the cough, so everybody has to deal with it. Let's see here. Audio's still good, all that stuff. So we did this a while back with our old live videos while we were live and the day after. If you go to the website, you can check out and you use discount code LIVE, L-I-V-E. There's a link in the description too. Everything's 10% off, right? And so that includes the Aqua batteries. Obviously, these things are amazing. Done a bunch of videos on it. The fish grips. We've got fish grips in like 5 different colors. This is like all American glow. We've been using the laser back there to cut all the hook pads. These things are pretty sweet. It's just a SeaDek with 3M tape on the back. You pull it, stick it to whatever you want to stick it to. Then you can stick hooks in it. That way they're not just rolling around the bottom of the kayak. Then they are, so 10% off on everything. You just type it in at checkout. You're good to go. And if you have any questions about the products, go ahead, just ask in the thing. A crate. About building a crate, man, I hate crates, man. Like I feel like if you bring a crate, you just store more and more stuff on the kayak that you don't need. It's really easy just to like toss random things. Be like, okay, let me just put this in a crate, and then 2 weeks from now, your crate weighs 25 pounds. So I'm not real big on the crate. If we had some ideas or we could really make it better than it already is, we'll work on it. But I just don't see that much room for improvement or any kind of innovation, really. We can make it happen, though. Tim says, which charter do you prefer, Inshore or the Gulf? It really depends on the time of year. Obviously, this year, I didn't personally run as many charters. In the past, I ran all the charters. This year, Skylar and Jamie really did the majority of everything, especially over the summer. Skylar did all the offshore trips, and Jamie's been doing all the inshore trips, soon to take over some of the offshore trips too. It's hard to do anything every single day and it not become redundant. Certain times of the year, it's awesome to take people out and go just sight fish redfish or throw top water for 35+ inch redfish. And then other times of the year, it's really, really cool to go out and catch those first few red snapper. Now, 5 days in the red snapper season, when you have caught, 4 to 8 keepers over 20 inches pretty much every single day, that gets redundant too. So it's tough to say, man. I like, for me, I'd rather watch the reaction of the people than the fish. I've caught the fish. I've watched people catch the fish. I've caught them of all shapes and sizes, This year, I didn't even go on the charter. I went out, I fished, I came back in. Skylar and them had some trouble catching bait. They were headed out. And this 14-year-old kid, actually, his father's at Alabama, the women's soccer coach, and they came into town to fish, and he caught 2 stud red snapper, and I just came back to the beach to take pictures, and this kid was stoked, and that's cool for me. I just enjoy watching the reactions. What'd you do in the Air Force? I was an engine mechanic on the AC-130 here at the Force on Hurlburt Field. I definitely enjoyed it, but I'd rather go fishing every day. So there's that. You miss the people. You enjoy the job. Don't really miss leaving the country and doing all kinds of random things or traveling all over the world. It was fun when I was young, though. Frank says, looking forward to the Seat Riser kit. Thanks for making the success. Thanks for ordering. If you guys didn't place those orders, we wouldn't be able to do any of the things that we do. Danny asked about wheels for the Predator. The SeaTug worked great from a top water. Look, the SeaTug with the Predator, I broke 1 in half the second time I used it. That's with sugar sand all over the beach, right? I like the Wilderness Systems heavy-duty beach cart. Even if you're not using the cart on the beach, the cart still works great. The wheels are very, very durable, so you can use it over gravel, grass, pavement. We use them to push around the house all the time, right? Leave them out in the sun all day, so they take a beating. That thing's amazing. They're all kind of pricey now. The wheels are all kinds of expensive, but I couldn't recommend that Wilderness beach cart enough, man. Especially for us moving the Predator around every day, man, makes life way easier. Dale, thanks for joining. Thanks for watching, buddy. Yeah, can you do another rigging video for rigging offshore trolling, inshore sheepshead? Need a close up on how you tie the knots. Maybe we'll be able to do a close up on knots, like in here. Obviously we have a bunch of camera equipment, right? With the live video, the stuff was just to keep it simple. There's a DSLR, that's a mirrorless camera. That's a Canon M50. You have a very, very nice DSLR inside. We got all kinds of stuff, right? So we could probably set it up that we could do like the knot tying videos live, like right here. That way you guys can see step by step. Some of that stuff, sometimes it's hard to videotape stuff and get it all on video perfect, right? If we do it live, at least you can interact and ask questions, right? Sheepshead, that's more of a wintertime thing. It's kind of nice change of pace, but I don't know. Pedal up to a piling, drop your fiddler. It's fun, I guess. Any ideas on how to mount a portable Garmin fish finder that is in a bag? Man, there's always a way. So you could just put the fish finder, can you take out of the bag? So you take it out of the bag, you can mount it to the rail, use one of those little side arms, put it in the water, and be good to go. I haven't really ever messed with one, Charlie. I'd have to see it to really give you a better answer. Good kill protectors. We don't really use the kill protectors. I've messed around with a bunch of ideas on how we could produce a good one. It's actually why we bought that thermoforming machine several months ago that arrived broken. Had some ideas, but the machine was broken. We sent it back and we bought the laser and some other stuff, right? We don't really use the kill protectors unless you're in a rocky area. People say, "Oh, I need it for a boat ramp." No, you don't. You just come in at an angle and get out of the kayak, and then you don't scratch your kayak, right? I don't know, man. I don't have a good answer for the kill protectors. It's a bunch of companies that make them. I know most people just take Kydex, they cut it out, hit it with the heat gun, and keep forming it up there. Just be gentle. Don't heat the kayak up. Heat the Kydex and then bend it to that. Masking tape or tape, hold it in place, and then marine glue it in place, and you're good to go. You can get that stuff on Amazon pretty cheap. Thank you for the salty fish finder video. Helped us. Yeah, the AC-130. Yeah, Spooky's up there flying around. We live close enough that we can hear it shooting all the time too. So it's a constant reminder. But I don't have to go fix it. So it's kind of cool to hear it fly around now, right? Oh damn, that cart's like I told you, man. All the carts are expensive these days, but it's 120 plus pound kayak. Before you put anything in it, that cart makes life easy. Yep. If the AC-130 is up there, quiet day in Afghanistan is true. Did I see earlier make some sort of anchor mount for the Lynx? Hey, I've been working on a few different things for the Lynx involving an anchor mount. Got some prototypes in the house, stuff we've been working on. It'll go over well. It was just one step at a time. We got a lot of random things going on, and it has to be pretty well done before we ever show anybody, right? Hey man, when do you think that boat ramp video is gonna come out? Look, I've been planning on making that boat ramp video for 2 years. I always see all these comments about, man, I got to the boat ramp and I scratched the front of my kayak, and I really just can't figure out how you guys do it because you shouldn't scratch the front of your kayak at the boat ramp. You shouldn't be running into the boat ramp like this. You just come in at an angle, get out. If you do it right, you don't even get your feet wet. Share is the love your videos. Thanks for watching the videos. Was wondering if you had any plans to make a SeaDek padding for Old Town kayaks. It would. Which kayak is it? Which kayak is it? Well, look at this guy. We got a clown in here. Check this out. It's funny. Oh, look at this. You can just remove people too. You gone. Oh man, how do you? Oh, he gone. Haha. I found how to block someone on YouTube. Why people do that? Because these guys have some lives or something. It would depend on the kayak. I mean, we have the ability to do it. We can laser the SeaDek. We have it in actually a few different colors now. Just haven't really showed anybody. Once we get the garage clean and we have more room to do things in here, be a little more organized, we'll be able to do a lot of different things that we haven't done yet. Okay. Hey Nick, I have a 130 big water. Got the power pole stuck in the mud. Can you create a different mounting option so we can get the emergency release? Okay, so what you're saying is you have the power pole mounted to the power pole ready plate on the big water. It goes through that hole, and then you couldn't get it to release to come off. Yeah, we've had a bunch of people mention things about that. We can make an offset mount for it. I just hadn't done it. That lets it come off to the left or right, and then it would anchor on the outside of the kayak. If you want, just shoot me an email at nick@navarrekayakfishing.com. We can make that happen. It's a pretty simple solution, okay? Just it shouldn't be needed, but yeah, that quick release is really, really nice, especially if the battery dies or, like you said, you couldn't get it to come undone. Just shoot me a message, okay? And we can work that out. Nick, I dropped my slow jigging lure at a deep underwater ledge, almost 200 feet. My line stopped peeling off, so I thought I reached the bottom. So I reeled it came slack. Happened to you? Could be a fish bite. Basically, the line got cut or something. Yeah, that's what happens. We have it happen right here too. Like even in the 60, 70 feet, we'll drop it, and it might even be a trigger fish, right? And they'll catch it on the way down, and you know that if it's a 60-ounce or 60-gram jig, it's not on the bottom yet. And then you'll feel it, and they'll be like running with it, and it won't be falling. Happens with Spanish mackerel, king mackerel too. You just be dropping, and all of a sudden, like tink, and you're like, what the heck? And you got cut off. So yeah, you just got bit. Could have been anything, Especially when you're dropping it that far, you have to go past so many fish to get to the bottom. You got a bite, right? It just, unfortunately, it probably had teeth. And you probably had fluorocarbon or monofilament or something like that attached to it. Aluminum sidetrack upgrade for your 120. Thoughts on trolling for big game? If your drag is set right, I don't necessarily always see, especially for trolling, the idea of having heavy-duty mounts. We had a bunch of requests to do the aluminum stuff, and I looked into it and did all this thing. Even to design it and have a guy down the road mill it, man, you're looking at a huge chunk of money. You have to be willing to spend. If you wanted to replace the factory ones, you're looking at probably $100, $120 for the set of two, which is, it doesn't really seem needed when you could just put a mighty mount on there, or even buy like a Yak Attack track, remove the old one, and then just mount that one in place. Okay, lots of options you can do that are sturdier than the Old Town version. You think they would improve that because everybody knows it sucks. It's even hard to get stuff in there. Yeah, I appreciate it, Danny. We don't do much of that. This is the best thing in the world thing. Maybe those dudes get paid or something. Ain't nobody pay me nothing, so I just do whatever I want, right? Outgoing tide, inshore, where the fish, they in the water. That's messed up. They could be anywhere. Think about this. They're around the bait. The tide moves the bait. The predator fish follow the bait. It's not that simple. It's not that complicated. It's very simple. It'd be hard to explain it in a live video, especially if we need a map and all kinds of stuff, right? Just think, find the bait, find the fish. It works for everything. Yeah. Look, Dan's a professional. I'm supposed to tell you guys to hit the thumbs up button and stuff like that, but I don't know how to do any of that, so it is what it is. But Dan's on top of his game. I appreciate it, dude. I'm 9. What lures do you use to catch your biggest redfish? All right, let's get some redfish stuff out of the way. They're not very smart. They have 2 modes. They either eat or they don't eat. Whatever you have will work. Simple is better. Think about it in this principle. A 3-inch lure is better than an 8-inch lure because if I tossed you a bite-sized Milky Way, you would eat it. But if I tossed you a Subway sandwich, you might not be very hungry, right? So smaller baits are better. Something like a little X-Wrap, a small little 3-inch lure, whether it's a jerk bait or a swim bait, a soft plastic, doesn't matter. Natural color. If you can find a fish, you should catch the fish, okay? If they're not eating, don't keep casting at the same fish, same area. Just keep moving until you find feeding fish. Don't overthink it. Find a bait. Keep casting. You'll find some fish. I appreciate it, buddy. Catch bags. Fish cooler. Do you use them? If so, what do you recommend? Okay, so we definitely use fish bags. We used a reliable fish bag. I think it's 36 by 20. It's roughly $200, but that thing will keep ice forever, like unreal. Okay, so we've put ice in there in the morning, like a 20-pound bag of ice. And then, say 6 a.m. and then 6 p.m. I've cleaned the fish in the middle of the summer, and it's still been slushy and cold. So I'm a big fan. You can buy them on Amazon. Your local kayak shop might have them, but it's expensive. But it's one of those things that'll last forever. If we can use the same bag for a year, 2, 3 years, with no problems, you can use that same bag we use it every day, right? King Mac or red snap or redfish, whatever. Don't puncture it or have any problems, then you can use it forever. I appreciate you watching Crazy Life. Sherry, I know you have some spacers to keep the PDL dry from sliding side to side. Do you have any plans to make spacers for the Old Town Sportsman's seat? All right, so I already made them. And that's a product that I've had requests for years. But like everything else, it had to be perfect. And I just couldn't find a way to make it work. And I wanted it to do a few things. And I can't give you all the information. I will tell you on my desk, there are 2 orange pieces sitting there with a few different types of screws, pretty much ready to go. One of the things is we don't want to overwhelm the system with orders. So we try to space everything out and print some and have it set up before we tell you it exists. So I'll tell you that it is pretty much ready. It's going to go over extremely well. I made it for the big water. I need to test fit it on the top water and stuff like that. But you're going to like it. It's very, very functional, and it does multiple things that are important. So, yeah, it's coming. It's there. Just don't want to tell everybody about it yet because not ready to produce it full go. Thought you're about to toss me an 8-inch Milky Way. I've never seen an 8-inch Milky Way. All right, but I'm just saying that a bite-sized Milky Way would be nice right now. I found shotgun shells in a redfish belly. We found some crazy stuff. There's actually a blog on the website from years ago. I wonder if I'll bring it up. I'll put a link right here. So there's a picture of it. Let's see here. My buddy, they caught a redfish and they cleaned it, and there was a mole inside of it. Look, here it is. I'll put a link in the comment section. You guys should be able to open up. There's legitimately a mole. Oh, there you go. Yeah, it worked. There's a mole inside this redfish belly. It's sitting on a cleaning table. I've seen redfish eat some crazy things over the years. Always interesting to realize that they will legitimately eat anything, okay? That's why lure selection is really, really not that important. Just go fishing, find bait, keep casting, and you're good to go. Let's see here. Oh, messed up. What other questions you guys got? You just keep asking the questions. We'll answer them for a little while longer. Try to get this logged in right here. I appreciate you guys watching, okay? Obviously, this was pretty impromptu. We didn't make the announcement until just a little while ago. Should do this again, Nick. Yeah, that's the goal, man. We wanted to test out this new program. Really, if you guys haven't seen that link I put up above, I'll put it here again. Dan, he actually shared a bunch of knowledge with me about this program. So that's a link right there to his YouTube channel. They do these live videos with this program, and he'll do like live catfish tournaments and film them live fishing for catfish. It's pretty cool. Just some dudes going fishing for catfish. They pretty much inspired me to go fish the river for catfish. I wanted to do it for multiple years. I just never found the time. So hopefully this is the year. Howard, looking at first kayak, casual angler for the lakes in Kansas, winter in Texas, looking for inshore marshes, not looking to go offshore, 4 to 5 days a week retired, salty sportsman 120. Okay, so they're both good kayaks, right? The salty doesn't have any storage, okay? So, and it's not as stable. So if you want to stand up and you want internal storage, which is nice just to put a rain jacket in there, a spare prop, anything, any kind of access to inside of the kayak, I would take the 120. You know, you're not going to be going, you're not in a hurry. You're just casually going out to enjoy your day. I would pick the Sportsman 120 over the Salty PDL for the storage reasons. That's a huge factor. You know, I had fun fishing from the Salty. It was a little bit, my goal was to find it how light we could get it, but it really wasn't that much lighter. I would take the Sportsman 120 over the Salty, especially for you're going to do. I think it's a great kayak. It'll serve you well. A lot more storage, more stable. You can stand in it. If you got any other questions, just comment in there. We'll get back to it, okay? What do you think about the new Bonafide P127? Well, let's just say that it was 100% obvious when Bonafide and Native merged, you know, however that worked out for them, that the Native pedal system would end up in a Bonafide. Let's be real here. It takes a ton of time, research, all these things, R&D to make a pedal system. Luther is a smart man. It was easier for him to sell the company, merge, do whatever, and work out a deal to use Native's pedal drive. You know, I'll just say it. I felt like when Bonafide was first released, they put these pads on the side of the kayak and they tried to tell people who could stand up there. And I just hate gimmicky things like that, right? So I paddled it. It doesn't really paddle that great. A lot more hype and marketing. And, you know, these companies do a good job. Like they got a guy, the bass fishing guy. And, you know, they partner with him. They pay him huge chunks of money every year. And there was Wilderness before that. And man, they tell you something's really, really, really good, but is it really as good as they say it is, or are they just paid to tell you how amazing it is? Everybody knows YouTube is, there's just so many paid shills that'll tell you whatever they're told to tell you. Not really a big fan. I really haven't gave much thoughts to the Bonafide. I don't know. I don't think it's a bad kayak. I just don't have it in me. My dad uses spinning rods, and I use bait casters, which is better. It's the Indian, not the Ariel, right? Okay, so if you can use a bait caster or you can use a spinning reel, it makes no difference. You can perform the same functions with either. One, you need to be coordinated and use your thumb. Other one, you don't. That being said, in a kayak, depending on what lure you're using, sometimes a spinning rod is more effective than a bait caster. I love to sight fish with a spinning reel, but there's no wrong answer. It's practice, dedication, and you can use whatever you're good at, okay? Super, super light lures, a spinning rod will win. If it's a windy day and you're not very good at a bait caster, a spinning rod will win. So it's not bad to be good with both. I like to use both depending on situation, okay? Hey, Lewis, thanks for watching, man. Costa Rica. I hope you guys are doing good down there. Yeah, they caught a 212-pound sturgeon the other day while they were live. That's pretty cool. Are you able to put kids on your kayak? Yeah, you know, we used to have a personal YouTube channel a long time ago, and I had videos taking my son out on the kayak and stuff. We took out Just the other day, we were on the water with my 4-year-old, my wife, and the 4-year-old with my wife on the Lynx. So there's always a way to do it, life jackets, safety stuff. We take the kids out on the kayaks from time to time without any issues, one on each kayak and stuff like that. And that's fun. We usually keep it in shallow water. Don't want to take it out in deep water or anything dangerous, right? But yeah, it's just I would introduce them in a calm place. They like sticking their hands in the water, so they'll be doing this the whole time. Be mindful, or you'll go swimming. We never fell in, but it's always possible. Hey, look, I kind of missed that GoPro Max, man. Like we talked about today, I hope they release a new GoPro 360 that has audio as good as the GoPro Hero 9. I like the 9. 9 is really good. Hey, look, the goal is just I'm not real big on sugarcoating things. It takes too long, right? I appreciate you guys watching, Howard. Appreciate all the kind words, too. I appreciate it, Mr. Man. It's always weird because everybody has weird YouTube names, so you don't know who anybody is. But I appreciate you guys watching the video. So if you guys want this stuff to happen more often, let me know. We'll do it with a bit more notice so it's not popped up. And then what about 7:30? Let's ask that question. 7:30 is not a bad time for me because the kiddos are in bed. Me and the wife are usually just watching TV or working on stuff we hadn't finished today. I know East Coast, it's 8:30. When we started, now it's 9:15 almost. What's a good time? What's a good time for you guys if we did this like once a week or twice a month or something like that? Just let me know in the comment section. All right, so what's the best kayak for river lake fishing? I have the 106 MK, but want to buy another pedal now. Bad experience, ran out of battery. Now, look, that's a terrible experience, right? That's why we don't use the powered kayaks. Now, I'm not against the powered kayaks, but like with the charter business, dude, I would have a whole wall of batteries, inverters, chargers, and it would be absolutely insane. So, pedal drives. I'm always going to tell you that a bigger kayak, a longer kayak is better. So I'm a big fan of the big water, right? If I could only have one kayak and I had to fish. So let's give my example of when I used to be in the Air Force, right? I only had one kayak. I only had the ability to fish when Uncle Sam told me that I was allowed to be in America. And then I had to have, no responsibilities. So I couldn't choose the weather. I couldn't pick the day. And if I was in that spot now, I would take the big water 132 PDL. And the reason is, regardless of wind, regardless of conditions, I could go fishing. And I know I could punch through the surf. I could punch through the wind. And that's a big deal. So if I can only have one kayak to fish on a lake and a river where there might be rocks, might run into it, need durability, paddles well, pedals great, long enough to cover huge amounts of distance, can cut through current, I would personally take the Predator PDL just for an all-around kayak. Great warranty on the pedals, great warranty on the hull. Old Town, they do some weird things, but they have great customer service, and they take care of the boats really well as far as warranty stuff. So that's what I would do. What's grinding Nick's gears lately? Man, there's some things. The weather? No, I'm just kidding. If it would quit raining, it'd be nice to get a shed. We have moved this stuff around back here so many times to make room, move it out, move it back in. So I need some sun. I need some trees to disappear, and I need the shed guy to deliver the shed. That's my biggest concern in life right now. What you did tonight was perfect. We'll try to set it up so there's a little bit more notice, as in, you guys see it starts at 7:30 for days. So it's not like, I think I posted at like 6 p.m. But the turnout was really good, surprisingly. So I appreciate you guys watching. 58 votes. Is that what it is? Okay, guys, if you haven't took the poll, go to the top, I asked who fished this weekend. I should have probably said, "Did you fish this weekend?" But I don't know what I was doing in my life. I did not. I do try to avoid the water under all circumstances on the weekends, unless it's a charter. I like that Monday through Friday grind when no one's around. Okay, 7:30 is good for me in Texas. 7:30 Central is good. Thank your wife for the quick shipping, Jim. Jim, thanks for ordering. Yes, my wife, Erica, does handle pretty much 99.9% of the shipping. There was a time when I did it, but thankfully she's more organized than I am. And her handwriting is better, so there's that. Do you ever get pulled on your kayak by a fish? All the time. You know, that's part of kayak fishing. You know, it's you get pulled everywhere. You know, the lighter the kayak, the less kayaks in the water, the more you get pulled. You can see a bunch of videos that we do. If you watch the Lynx video with the king mackerel, the red snapper, I'm getting pulled all over the place in those videos. It's part of the game. That's why with the Old Town instant reverse, that's why we use those for the charters. You can pedal backward. You can stop yourself so the fish doesn't pull you in the structure, which is a huge thing, okay? So yeah, fish pull you all over the place. Part of fun, right? That's why, you know, if you could be in a boat and the fish can't move you, that's not any fun. Do you have any recommendations using artificial scents on lures for saltwater inshore fishing? It's a gimmick. It doesn't work. I mean, it does work, okay? I'm not saying it doesn't work. It's not needed. I've made a living catching saltwater fish, sight fish for redfish in the clearest water you could find. Never put any kind of scent on there. Refuse to use gulp because it makes my fingers smell weird. Maybe I'm just a pretty girl, okay? I just don't like it. You know, those products that you put on stuff, they typically melt, sink, and get all over the place. And you get more on your hands or your rod or your reel than you do. And the fish don't care. We catch fish every day, all day without it. It's just, you need to learn behavioral patterns of fish. Once you can find the fish, you will catch the fish. They're not very smart. They eat a lure that has hooks hanging off it. It's plastic. It doesn't even sound like a bait fish. I'm just saying you don't need it, all right? That's my thoughts. All right. I'd like to see you feeling better. I feel great, okay? Look, I usually get sick twice a year, usually in the spring and fall. It's probably allergy related, and then I would just cough for 2 weeks for no reason. It's ridiculous, but I've lived this life forever, so you just kind of deal with it. Just got here. Thanks for joining. If you have questions, just doing a Q&A. Just ask away. William, you don't sell your lures anymore. Best store-bought soft plastic stick bait. Truthfully speaking, William, I've never actually used a store-bought soft plastic stick bait. Jamie and I were just on the water, and evidently we're about to run out of stick baits. And we don't have stuff to make them anymore. So we were discussing bringing lure production back just to make stick baits, to make nothing else. We will make stick baits and only stick baits in ghost shrimp, whitish, and greenish. Green, just like the variable green color. We discussed that. If we have enough interest, we will bring the jig heads and the stick baits back this fall. That's something we talked about, Jamie and I, because that ghost shrimp stick bait is poison and redfish can't resist it. Neither can the trout. And we only have one little stick bait left that says it's ghost shrimp color. And I think Jamie took it on the rod to go fishing tomorrow for the inshore trip. So it's not a good thing. All right. So we need some more too. Peter, any thoughts on ways to better utilize the side pockets on the big water for gear storage mods? Well, okay, a long time ago, we made a product called the accessory mount that actually removes those plates and gives you access to the, I'm opening it up. I'll put a little thing below so you can see it. Yeah, there's a video in the description of this link too. I like this because I always hated the fact that I couldn't get my hand in. I couldn't get my hand in the little grooves. So I pulled those off. I put these covers on it. They actually have track mounts, so you can still mount accessories to it. And then you have the easy access. You can actually fit tackle boxes in there if you wanted to. Check that video out. There's a bunch of details in there. That's my preferred way to fish the Predator because you can put a knife in there. You don't got to dig for it or look at an angle. You can just stick your hand in there, pull out your knife, cut our bait offshore, toss lures in there, put the hook pad on the wall right there. You put it standing up, and then you can put your hooks in there, and then your lures don't flop around the kayak and end up in your foot or your net or anything like that. So that's what I would do, Peter. Everybody's different, though. Melissa, we can make the vertical rod holder setup for – I know I got some over there ready to go. For the Sportsman 120, there are a few options on how you would mount it. You could put tracks in and then mount it to those tracks, and we would just need the center line numbers, which is easy. If you shoot me an email about it, the other option is there's 2 screws that go into the kayak and hold your bungee in place. You can remove those 2 screws and mount it there. That's how we did it on the Salty. So just shoot me an email at nick@navarrekayakfishing.com, and we could get some measurements and get you a solution, okay? We hadn't really decided on a final plan for the 120 just because not everyone has installed tracks. So we're just trying to figure out what's best, right? So if you have some input, just shoot me an email. How often do you freshwater fish? Where'd it go? Terry, honestly, I grew up bass fishing. I'm from Ohio, right? The last time I purposely went freshwater fishing was with Jamie last week, and we were exploring that creek. We do plan to go bass fishing because obviously that's how most people started fishing. It'll be a nice change of pace. We don't go freshwater fishing very often. We do catch a lot of bass in the winter times, just fishing the rivers. Really, we're there for trout. One of these times, we'll videotape me and Jamie going bass fishing, right? There's not really, there's a lot more saltwater where we live than there are freshwater. Like I can drive 5 minutes and be in the water. I can drive 8 minutes and be in the Gulf of Mexico. I got to drive an hour and a half to get to some actual good bass fishing for the kayak. That's why we don't do much freshwater fishing. Plus, fish are like 12 inches long, right? That's messed up. That's a joke. I'm just teasing. What are the most important features / tech to include on a kayak fish finder from your experience? Recommendations for specific. All right, Christopher, this is what I'll tell you. Most people spend a lot of money on their fish finder and they have no idea how to use it. It's actually really, really funny. Get these guys, and really it's like probably 75 or more %. They buy these fancy fish finders, right? And then they don't know how to use it. So what you really need to ask yourself is, do you need side scan? Are you actually going to use it? Do you need chirp? Because if you understand traditional sonar, you don't need chirp. I have a fancy fish finder. I use a side scan, but 95% of the time I use traditional down scan. I like it. It's very easy to read. It's not complicated. You can see it without staring at it. So I'm a really big fan of Garmin. I've used a bunch of different ones. I think that Garmin makes the best all-around user interface, quality picture. So we have a 73 SV here. We have a 94 SV. I would tell you that a larger is cool, but 7 inches is probably all you need, as in it fits on the kayak good. It's not too big. The 9-inch one is great. It's awesome, but it's huge. It takes a lot of space. It's heavy, needs more power supply. I would recommend blankly to everybody a Garmin 73 SV. Transducer is easy to mount on the majority of kayaks. Very, very easy to power with like this Naqua, these 10 amp hour batteries. Remember, that's all on sale on the website, 10% off, right? Garmin 73 SV. Around the end of the year, the holidays, you can find some pretty dang good deals on them too. I think Skylar paid like $450 for his last year, and I was like, wow, that's a great deal. I was in the Gulf. If you have more questions about it, let me know, Christopher. Crap messes up hard plastics. Oh, the fish sense. That's just gross, dude. No one has time for that. I talked to him on the phone before. Elias. Seems like a really, really nice guy. Launched the wash rack today, pedaled out. Next thing you know, I was in Pensacola. The wind and current was ripping. Yeah, that's what happens after it rains, all right? That's why I was sleeping in at the house. We'll get back to running some charters later in the week offshore. I found that scent helps in super murky water. You know, we really don't have that around here. I know a lot of bass fishermen have used like garlic and stuff like that. Personally, I would just make more noise. That's just what I would do. I'm in for the stick baits. Tell me when to order the stick baits. Sign me up for some ghost stick baits. Ghost shrimp stick baits. Hard to say, right? Just got, oh man, we got all kinds of stuff going on here. Oh man, where did I lost it? Okay, let's see here. Just got back from fishing. I love the Hobie. I love that the Hobie Lynx video. Seriously, consider getting one when they're available. Hey, did you catch any fish? That's the most important part. Did you catch any fish? Have fun. Let's see here. I don't know what that said, so we're just going to remove it. Got another live one. I don't know what that was referring to, dude. This is why we can't have nice things. That's good. I just removed it, but I didn't see it before. Same situation in Japan. Yeah, like the Gulf is right there for me. You know, redfish, trout. To go bass fishing, it's just a lot more work. All right, and it's in my mind, it's less rewarding. I'm not being mean. That's my thoughts on it. Love my 93 SV, bro. That 94 SV, it has the transducer that's like rated for 1,800 feet offshore. The images I get in 60 to 80 feet of water are mind-blowing on side scan. But I do make a living with it. No one really needs that, okay? When did you start fishing saltwater? Let's see. I moved to a little town called Crawfordville, Florida, my junior year of high school. That is when it started. That's funny, Ramsey. That's good. Every time Nick drinks, take a shot. Yeah, you guys would be hammered. All right. Hey, Steve, how are you doing? We need stickers. Hey, I'm Nick. No, it's all right. I'm Nick. All right. I gotta say at the beginning of every video. All right, I'm Nick. But you prefer bass fishing, but you got to drive an hour? We'd be pretty plastered. That's funny. Not just stickers, but bumper stickers. That's funny. You guys are good. All right. Well, let's get a question or two more, and then we'll wrap it up for the night. So maybe if I quit coughing or quit talking, I'll quit coughing, right? Did you get stuck by a catfish in the foot? No, that was Stuart. It wasn't me. That was Stuart. Remember that barge? That's funny stuff, bro. I hope you're doing well, buddy. I did. My first saltwater catfish experience, I hit it with a 5-gallon bucket, and the barb went through a 5-gallon bucket. Yeah, that's all I needed to see. Ain't mess with 1 cent, all right? Hey, remember when your dad got hooked in the hands? That's messed up. Both hands, remember that? Man, that's crazy. Dang, Steve, you had a heart attack? I'm sorry to hear that, man. It is best that we canceled that fishing trip because of weather and you stayed home. I hope you have a good recovery. I guess you could just watch YouTube, right? Hang out and relax. Bro, Charlie, shouldn't you be going to sleep so you go to work in the morning? But what other questions we got? I'll get 1 or 2 more questions in here, and then we'll shut it down, and then we're going to try to go live. The reason we tried to do this was to figure out how it worked on the phone. I've been monitoring on the laptop. If we do it on the phone on the water, I probably won't be able to monitor it as well as I have been, but you guys will be able to see me and Jamie fishing. The goal is that it'll be myself and Jamie on the screen, and then you'll be able to see us both fish and just talk you'll be able to experience the morning with us. So that'd be pretty cool. That's the goal. And then we'll try to get some schedules up and we'll sit down and answer questions like this. We'll get it all squared away. Hey, Steve, thanks for watching, man. Thanks for sending that in. That's cool. I don't really know how the super chat stuff works. The goal of this is just to answer your guys' questions and do on the water stuff. This is more of a practice experience than anything, but I really appreciate that, Steve. It's very nice of you. Let's see here. Get lost in here. I appreciate the fish finder help coming off an old Garmin Figure 4, looking to upgrade. Fishing for stripers and so look, man, if you're fishing for stripers like open bay, Chesapeake Bay or whatever like that, man, look, side scan is awesome because you can locate bait. And if you locate bait, you can go right to the bait, troll to the bait. I definitely recommend side scan, okay? For me, I really know where all my bottom spots are offshore. So I actually went from the 94 SV to a Striker 4, which was a crazy experience. But I like it because it's just so small on the Lynx. But if you are definitely going offshore, or looking for striper or anything like that in the bays, big water, deep water, the ability to look left and right, 100 feet left and right is unreal. You'll find so many fish like that. So it's definitely worth the money for what you're doing, okay? Couldn't recommend it enough. 73 is great. If you can get to 94 to 93 and you can get it mounted on your kayak smoothly and convenient, do it because the bigger screen, the better for what you're going to do. What are your thoughts on anchor systems for the Old Town Sportsman PDL 120? Okay, Shay, it really comes down to how you're going to fish. If you look at my kayak, I will never put an anchor system on it. From time to time, I'll carry a stakeout pole, but it's really kind of a park and pole by yak, so you can really push with it. It's more of a push pole, and if I need to anchor the kayak and get out, I'll use the anchor pole to anchor the kayak, but I'm usually wade fishing or something. I don't like to anchor. If you watch a lot of our inshore videos from years ago, the instructional videos, I'm going to tell you to cover water, keep moving, because where we fish, the water's shallow. A lot of times you will spook fish. The water's so clear you can see them. A lot of places you guys are fishing, the water's dirty, so you don't know if you spooked them or not. Sometimes we'll be fishing, and I can watch the kayak spook fish everywhere. So I don't ever anchor. I want to keep moving. Now, obviously, you can go the really, really expensive route. You can purchase the power pole, which is push, boop, boop, power pole down, which is great. It's awesome. You can buy stuff like a Bernie River Stick, which is a manual anchor pole. Yak Gadget makes one. There's a bunch of different ones. You can make it yourself, a whole bunch of things. Bernie lives here in Pensacola. I know he makes them for a bunch of kayaks. You can just pull it up, put it down. That's cool. Or you can just carry the anchor stick. We make a anchor stick mount that goes on. It's like $25. We got a video on it on there. If you just search anchor stick in the YouTube search bar under Navarre kayak fishing, it'll pop up and you can just stick the pole in, pull the pole out, go on about your life. That's the cheapest way to do it. It lets you experiment. We ship out a ton of those things every week. So there's a lot of options, cheap to expensive, convenient. I would experiment with it. The anchor stick makes it easy to start somewhere. That way you can just stop and point wherever you want to point. We did a video on it in the river. It works really, really well. If you have any more questions about it, let me know. All right. Hello there from the West. Hey, thanks for watching. Trevor, I hope your dinner with your wife was good. Can't watch YouTube while you're at dinner with your wife, all right? Hey, Dan, I appreciate you helping me get the live stream set up, dude. I really appreciate it, buddy. Appreciate all the kind words. Is that west from? It's east, so it's I think my dad still lives over there, right? It's just south of Tallahassee. Okay, 98 goes all the way to my dad's house, so we go back over there once in a while. It's beautiful over there. The inshore fishing is really, really good there. Hey man, what's up? Second cup of coffee Monday morning here. Yeah, it's weird, man. What time is it over there? That's crazy to think about. I mean, obviously I used to travel a lot, but I don't necessarily miss it. Hey, Dan. All right, guys. It says Dan Fields right there. His comment. That's Dan does most of your part production, right? So if you order the inserts and stuff like that, Dan is the man. All right. Dan spends a lot of times. If you order a hook pad, Dan was probably running the laser out here, right? Obviously, a team effort. Dan and Jamie are huge helps. Jamie does a lot of the parts prep. Like what you guys can't see right here is there are just all different types of bolts on this wall. All the pad eyes and stuff are back here. And Dan and Jamie spend a ton of time in the garage, morning, evening. So hopefully we get this stuff cleaned up and squared away. And then Dan will have more room to do things. And once this is all cleaned out, we have so many ideas and projects that are in work. Tow ropes for the kayak stuff. There's all kinds of stuff, right? But we just need the shed to show up, okay? No more rain, sunny weather. Trees need to disappear. Shed shows up. And then Dan and Jamie and myself will be out here going crazy. And, of course, my wife, Erica, she runs the business. I just cause the problems, and she handles all the shipping. Let's see. So much room for activities. Man, I cannot wait for the shed. Like, it's a big deal. Sorry you're still coughing. Want to put a trolling motor or something lighter on my Old Town 120 pilot bar. Is probably the compass. I ain't Dan's boss, bro. We work together, all right? Yo, no garages in Japan? 10:35 a.m. Too much junk. Well, look, I'm going to wrap it up. I greatly appreciate you guys watching. Thank you for the guys who did the super chats. That's a new experience for me. I don't know anything about that. If you guys have questions or want to set up another Q&A and stuff like that, or are interested in the live on the water fishing, make sure you smash that like button, all that good stuff. I'm going to stop this live somehow. I appreciate you watching. If you have any questions, just shoot me an email at nick@navarrekayakfishing.com. Thanks for watching, Sherry. Y'all have a good night.